Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome to the Humble Group Simplify Your Summer event on the Global Sunrider Day, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's nice and warm and summery where I am, and I'm loving summer. So as we get started here, I'll quickly introduce myself. I'm Ann Humble, and I've been with Sunrider since 1989. Grey Cup weekend, 1989. So that, if you do the math, I think that makes it 30, whatever it is, 32 years, something like that. And I started out like many people. I had some health challenges, and doctors weren't able to help me. And this had gone on for many years, and I was introduced to Sunrider. And I don't go into the details anymore because that's so long in the past. But long story short, they weren't able to help me. And within 3 months of eating the Sunrider foods, all of my pain and symptoms had gone. And 8 months after starting the foods, I felt better than I had in my whole life, including when I was a child. So that's my story. And I was a homemaker at the time, and people started noticing some changes in me, and that's how my little sideline home-based business started out. And I've done a few other things health related through the years, including being a owner of a health fitness club. I'm a biofeedback practitioner, and so I do a few things. I wouldn't be without my Sunrider foods. Right now, some of you will know that I've been through a very stressful time. We've had a big life-changing event in our family, and boy, oh boy, am I ever glad to have the Sunrider foods as we go through this challenge. And what else would I say about it? And because of this challenge, it has given me a new impetus or drive to really get into my Sunrider business, because we need the security as we go forward, and or at least I feel that I need the security as we go forward. And so you're going to be seeing a lot more of me doing Sunrider.
Good.
So yeah, there you go. So next I will call on my sponsor upline, Randy Fritz. Give us a little background on you.
Sure. I've been eating the Sunrider foods just a little longer than Ann, I guess 30 plus years, and it's been one of the greatest things that I've added to my life. That you do all these things, but I don't think there hasn't been a day in 30 years that I haven't eaten or drank some Sunrider. In the same way you brush your teeth or whatever, you try to sleep at night. And I eat my Sunrider, and it's wonderful to have one very simple thing that you know is going to help everything. And I sat in and on another call like this. There's hundreds of these happening around the world right now. And this one lady said, it's just so nice that it's so simple. Like, you don't have to, like if you go to a doctor, it's this drug for this problem, another drug for another problem, and then maybe a drug to help the two problems that we've just created. But then if you go into a health food store, it's sort of the same thing. Well, this vitamin for this, another vitamin for that, a different herb for that. And we have this really powerful way to feed our whole body and every cell in our body. And we assume that the body will take care of itself. And that's what I like. That when I first saw the presentation for Sunrider, that's what attracted me. And that's what kept me going now for 30 years. And I couldn't keep it to myself. We started telling people. We built a business which has been steady for 30 plus years. Like, that doesn't really happen very often, but it's the power of the foods that maintain that. And it's given me just a wonderful life. Besides my health, it's given me a way to, a purpose to help others. and to actually earn a good income while you do it. And that's my story.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, next I think I'll call on Veronica, and we'll save our out of family guest for last. She's got a pretty amazing story, but Veronica, your story is wonderful too. But so Veronica, you go first.
Okay, I was introduced to Sunrider at a trade show probably in the late 90s, so over 20 years ago. And I used that product and still do, which is Sunbreeze oil. And I found where I could get more. I just happened to stumble into that. And that person told me about the business, and I sat on it for many, many years. I knew I would do it someday. And I had some health challenges. And when I moved to Momart here, I was unpacking and I ran across the binder that this wonderful person gave me way back when. And I started reading, and I was reading about quinine. And I thought, I need this stuff. I phoned Anne, and the rest is history. And I wouldn't be without Sunrider. It has helped me and continues to help me with health challenges, especially last couple of weeks too. I had an eye tooth extracted, and it really knocked me for a loop. I don't know where I'd be without those foods. They gave me, and the Sunbreeze, like I kept using it. The painkillers wouldn't touch the pain, but I just kept sweating it out and using the Sunbreeze in my beverage, and I drank lots of Fortune Delight to keep flushing things. Anyway, that's enough of my story.
Yeah, that's a great story. That's wonderful. And isn't it true? You know, when we do run into these health challenges that we all do, that everybody does, we run to our Sunrider foods, whereas the average person will run to the medicine chest or the drugstore. And we're just feeding our bodies so that they're strong and able to take care of themselves. And it's such a gift. It's such a beautiful gift to have that safety net, I think. Anyways, that's my feeling about it.
It is. One little thing. I knew I was going to have this tooth removed, and stupid me, when I placed my last order, I don't know what I was thinking. I ordered Sun bars, and yeah, you can't bite them off. Like I had the front tooth removed. Like I say, what was I thinking? I should have had VitaShake. Wait, whatever.
There you go. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
Thanks, Veronica. That's great. That's a great story. So Janie, okay, Janie, please introduce yourself and tell us your story, because it's a wonderful story and it's a very inspiring story.
Thank you very much, Anne. So my name is Janie. My parents are Dan and Carol Stewart. Margaret Copey, I think, was their upline. So I was pretty lucky, because right from when I was just starting my teenage years, my parents emptied the shelves of all the other products they used, and we used Sunrider. So I was pretty lucky. And I always, as kids, we ate Sunrider foods because it helped us be even better at sports that we were doing or whatever. And then years go by. When I was 40 years old, so that's just 10 years ago, I severed my spinal cord. And spinal cords are fairly important to the functioning of your body and your nervous system. So when I was 40, I had a 2-year-old who was just learning to walk, or she was walking, but learning to do tricks. And I was in a wheelchair. So I was in the hospital for 5 months, but the first things that came to my bedside, among the first things, were the Sunrider products. because my mom, of course, flew out immediately and made sure that I had the Sunrider Cal tabs and my New Plus at my bedside. And the importance of those products is because, yeah, we can get calcium anywhere, and yeah, they got some at the hospital, but we want the best, and we want the best chance. So here we have the calcium. I can't say enough about it. It's so fast acting. It's crazy. Anyway, I spent years in the wheelchair, but eventually, I graduated to being able to walk with 2 canes, and that was pretty phenomenal because there's nothing like getting up out of your chair to leave a room or get into a bathtub. But actually, I was just remembering, I just flashed back to Sunrider conventions in my wheelchair, and I felt so different because, of course, everyone looks different when you're like 3 feet tall. But I remember my mom pushing me up and down the hills at the LA convention, and just thinking, another great thing about Sunrider is it helped my my over 60-year-old mother push me, who I was a pretty big lump by this time in my wheelchair, but she's pushing me up and down those hills. She couldn't have done it without her quinnery and her but anyways, so years have moved on. Now I don't even use my canes, which is amazing. Like, walking hands-free it's one cool thing about having a traumatic injury is when you do get to move ahead and get better, all these new experiences are just amazing. You just love life even that much more, right? And I also, one of the things I'm most grateful for is I don't have any, I have no need for any prescription medications in my cabinet. And for someone with the level of injury I had, getting out of, being able to maneuver without aids is one thing, but being able to live prescription free in this day and age is pretty awesome. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm also grateful that it doesn't matter what is wrong with us in our family. Like, for instance, we almost lost my young one just before I broke my back. She got a blood disease, and we almost lost her. And as soon as the transfusions were over, we started feeding her New Plus. And it's the same products that we used when I broke my back. They're the same products we used before we were traumatically injured. We just increase our amount, and we already have everything we need. And that is pretty phenomenal because we're not out searching. There's so many people out there searching. They're searching for something to help them feel well. They're searching for the next best thing. There's always a new natural product on the market that likes to take the world by storm, but it's so short-lived. And here we've always had the same products in our cupboards. It's amazing. I also appreciate the fact that with any traumatic injury or any trauma actually in your life, it's not just the physical location that's injured, but your spirit gets injured and your mental health gets injured because things happen, and that's just how it is. But the foods aren't just, they're feeding all of us as a whole person, and that's pretty important too. We like Randy was saying earlier, we don't need to get a product for this and get another prescription for that, and then one to manage the the side effects they get. To me, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
My husband also had a traumatic injury, and he wasn't going to be able to work. He's a commercial roofer, and he shattered both of his heels. And his diagnosis was pretty dire. You're gonna 100% chance that you're gonna have arthritis, 100% chance you'll need surgery within a year to cut off the bone spurs from your heels. But same thing, calcium, New Plus, Fortune Delight. He also takes a lot of Sunrise and Joy. Those are the 2 things that help him get to work every day. But he's been working. Like, once he was able to walk again and get his strength back up, he still works at his profession, and no surgery, no arthritis. These are all, we have such an edge in life, I think, and we're pretty lucky for that. And I wish that I could be more, I just wish more people could just know it and believe it. You know what I mean? Like, it'll work for anybody. Like, anybody can be healthy. Anybody can be healthy, or at least in a better state.
Yeah. We are so blessed to have this. And if you've been a Sunrider for a while, you hear that phrase quite a lot. I feel so blessed to have
Yes.
been given this gift, right? And Janie, you're not the first person that I've heard about who's had a back injury and been in a wheelchair. And I used to think that spinal injuries, once you have a spinal injury, that's kind of it for you, sort of thing. But that's not true. It's amazing what the body can do if you give it the right stuff.
Exactly. I used to think it's the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Before I broke my back, I thought, oh, that's the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Turns out it's not, and it's not even that bad of a deal. You get to, you get to experience life in different communities. Like, look at the other stuff, wheelchair sports,
Yeah.
all the different communities built around. It's awesome, but I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
No.
I have to tell those who are listening to this, if it's in recording or live, Janie is one of the most fun people I know. And she is a ray of sunshine, and she always seems to find the sunshine in every situation. I'm telling you, she's an amazing gal. So thank you, Janie, for dropping in and for sharing that. And I also wanted to share, I was on another call today, on Diane Harriet's call, and in that call, there was a couple of people shared their experiences, and the ones that stuck out for me in that call were the ones about children and giving their babies New Plus is their first solid food or their first food, and how nicely that works, and how beautifully the babies, they just take to it so nicely, and their immune systems are strong and their brains are strong, and the whole thing, and it just sets them up for having a really healthy life. And that was the one, Bev shared that this morning, and I was so pleased to hear that story. So there's just, we could go on and on and on with stories, right? We know that. But anyway, so I promised people that this was not going to be a long presentation. I tried to keep it to 30 minutes. So we'll move along here. And I do the PowerPoint presentation. It keeps me on track so that we don't go off on tangents, or that I don't go off on tangents. So I'm going to use this little prop, if you will. So what makes Sunrider unique? And it is that these products come from ancient Chinese herbal knowledge and wisdom, from ancient manuscripts, thousands of years old. They are absolutely pure. They're highly concentrated, and they're formulated according to these ancient manuscripts. Our own expertise, Dr. Teifu Chen, is considered to be the leading herbalist in the world. I've heard on several different occasions. There might be some people who feel differently, but certainly from what I know about Chinese herbs, he is the leader. He is the master in this area. And he has said in the past that he is committed to giving us the absolute best products available. If there is a competing product out there that is better, and that he can't make a comparative product better than that, he won't do it. So whatever products you get from Sunrider, you can rest assured that it is the highest quality of that type of product that you can get anywhere in the world. It's plant-based nutrition. It's not chemicals or isolates. And we have got to be one of the longest operating network marketing companies. I think the only other one might be Amway, and I think it's changed its name. It's not even Amway anymore. And there might be, I don't know, is Shackley still operating? I'm not sure. But the Sunrider's got to be one of the longest running operating network marketing businesses in the world. So how Sunrider simplifies my life. Okay, so I'm fessing up here. I am a lazy person when it comes to food. That's actually what got me into trouble 30 some years ago. And I've never really enjoyed cooking. To me, especially, we had 4 young children, and cooking was a big chore, and you spent a lot of time on it. And when you sat down to eat the meal at 5 minutes, and it was all over, and you had to start over again. So to me, preparing food was a big chore and a big challenge. So if it could be easy and it could be healthy, that was high on my priority list. I love that I can shop for almost so much of what I purchase comes from Sunrider. It comes from my own store, and including home care products and personal care products. When it comes to the nutrition side, well, and the other products as well, Chen has done all the work. I don't have to figure out how much of this to eat, how much of that to eat. I just know when I have my package of New Plus in here, there's over 20 different foods in there. Most people don't get more than 7 or 8 different foods in a day. In one package of New Plus, you get more than twice that. And so you get just an incredible rainbow of nutrients in there. And I love the simplicity of that. In particular, for the record, the program that got me out of my mess 30 plus years ago was called, well, it got the acronym NBC for Nourish, Balance, Cleanse. And that is my go-to combo to this day. I have that combination every day. Most days I have 2 servings of that, which is New Plus, Cali, or Fortune Delight, or a combination, and the Quinary. And I do that absolutely every day, and I wouldn't be without it. And if for some reason I miss getting that amount in a day, my body tells me. I feel it. I absolutely feel it. That's the other thing. So many people, when they do purchase supplements and health foods, if you ask them, and this is my challenge to you guys, ask them, what do you notice? What do you notice when you use those products? And my own experience has been, when I ask that question, very often it is, well, I'm not sure, but I know I need to supplement because it's important. And to me, if you don't notice a difference, if you don't notice some kind of improvement by using the foods, or notice some kind of deficit when you stop using them, it's probably not doing very much for you. So that's just me. So there's a little tip you can use when you're talking to people. So what are you noticing when you're using your supplements? And the products, of course, they're absolutely convenient and easy to use, and they're portable. You stick them in your purse or your backpack, and off you go. And that's how it simplifies my life. And as I say, in this last month, I've spent a lot of time going back and forth to hospital, and not a lot of time for healthy meals and all that kind of stuff. So my little backpack was full of all of my special foods, and that's how I got through. So what I'm going to do here now is just introduce you to some very simple, they're among the top sellers in the company. And Sunbreeze oil is a signature product that I don't know, Randy or maybe Janie, maybe you guys know, it wasn't the first product Dr. Chen came up with, was it?
Well, I remember, this is what I remember. I think it is one of the first, but only because before we had Sunrider in our house, it was Nature Sunshine, and we had Taifu oil, which was Taifu's Sunbreeze. But I mean, Randy maybe knows better than I do, but I think it's the first.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the first then.
Okay.
Yeah, because he said at that convention, it was his first. That's what he started.
There's Bev. Yay. Good.
Yeah.
Didn't know you made it in. Wonderful. Glad to see you. Yeah, so it's I knew it was either that or PA. One of the two. Anyways, one of the very first products, and it is a fabulous product. I've got an information sheet that gives, I didn't count them up, but I'm going to say somewhere between 30 and 40 different ways to use it. And I don't know if you can see behind me, I've got, oh, it's not running, it must have run out. I had a little diffuser here with some Sunbreeze in it, spreading some wonderful scent in here. And I was actually going to do this presentation outside and do the diffuser thinking that maybe it would keep the mosquitoes away. So I didn't get a chance to try that, to experiment with it. But anyway,
I've heard that it does.
that's, yeah, I thought it might be a fun thing to try. Anyways, it can help to balance your mood with aromatherapy. It's infused with natural essential oils and botanicals, non-toxic and naturally safe. And you know what? In Canada, we can't actually recommend that you use it directly on your skin or for many of the ways that I had mentioned. But for many, many years, most of us have used it in that way. We've used it on our skin, we've inhaled it quite directly, and so on and so forth. And there are some very lovely, good essential oil companies out there. But what I know about many of those products is you have to be a bit of a aromatherapy expert to use them, because you're not supposed to put it directly on your skin. You're only supposed to mix it. Some of them you mix with oil and some of them you mix with water, and you know, it's not a simple thing. And I actually went to a aromatherapy party, and they were talking about this oil does this and this oil does that and this oil does this, and they went through, like, there's probably 20 or 30 different oils, and each different use that they were talking about, I was thinking, yeah, but Sunbreeze does that. And then they go, Sunbreeze does that. Sunbreeze does that. So Sunbreeze, at that particular party I went to, could take the place of practically every oil that they were mentioning. And so, and it's all in one little bottle. So, so how lucky are we to have that? So it's 100% essential oils. There's no filler vegetable oil. The main ones, there's way more than this. I want Janie or Randy, have you ever heard the actual number of oils in the Sunbreeze?
Not me, no.
I know it's a lot. I just don't know if we've heard an actual number. But anyway, so
More than enough. More than enough is the number.
More than enough. There you go. There you go. Let's go. We're going with that. So,
Or the perfect.
yeah. So Sunbreeze. Next is Fortune Delight. Most people, when they're first introduced to Sunrider, it's usually with one of our beverages, and it could be Cali, or it could be Fortune, or it could be both. And in the summertime, Fortune Delight is a fabulous beverage, and it can replace coffee, tea, soft drinks, you name it. And I'll just go through the points here. It cleanses the body with powerful antioxidants. It's 4 times more concentrated than traditional green teas, thanks to our 9-step proprietary process. It's delicious. It comes in 5 different flavors down at the bottom. There's peach, raspberry, cinnamon, lemon, and original. There's no sugar, fat, preservatives, or artificial sweeteners. And there's only 10 calories per serving. And the notable ingredients are Camellia sinensis, chrysanthemum, and jasmine. And there's way more than that, but those are the top ones. And it is a great and very economical beverage. So I'm going to ask the group if you have a favorite flavor and if you have a favorite recipe, if anybody wants to share. Randy, what about you? Which is your favorite beverage from Sunrider?
I would probably pick a Fortune. I actually, in the mornings, I start with mint Cali plus peach Fortune Delight.
Ooh.
And that's my morning beverage. And then in the afternoon and the evening, I start on Fortune Delight, either lemon, well, any of the flavors by themselves. Yeah.
I like that. So the morning drink is mint Cali and which Fortune?
And peach Fortune Delight.
Ooh, that sounds like a very nice combination. Wow. I enjoy lemon with raspberry Fortune Delight, that combination, and peach and lemon is also very, so you could use your imagination, whatever suits your fancy. And or just drink just one flavor is fine. We, after a while, us seasoned Sunriders start to experiment with the flavors. So New Plus is there's talking about filling nutritional gaps, but I'll tell you, when you go through a crisis like I went through in the last month, I was living a lot on New Plus, just mostly because when you're under stress, at least when I'm under stress, I have no appetite, but I know that I needed to eat. And New Plus was so simple. I would shake it up in a bottle with some water or some Cali or Fortune, and that would be my meal. And I was quite satisfied with it, and always had plenty of energy. So it was such a godsend through this last month. New Plus can enhance your traditional Western diet. It goes beyond spinach and kale with nourishing Chinese herbs, roots, and plants. And as I mentioned, in a package of New Plus, this little packet here, there's more than 20 different foods in there. Whole foods, there's no chemical isolates, preservatives, or added sweeteners, sugars, and fats. And you'll notice as we go through this presentation, you'll hear the same thing over and over again. No preservative, no added fats, no sugars. The notable ingredients in New Plus are Chinese yam, foxnut, lotus root, and soy protein. And just a note on the soy protein, because there's a bit of controversy out there about soy. Randy, you might even be the best, give a better explanation on soy and what's different about Sunrider soy.
Mine is more of a general statement that almost all the Sunrider foods are, you might say, pre-digested. And if there is anything, for example, soy, there's phytoestrogens or whatever people are concerned about, Dr. Chen uses a process that eliminates that.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so low fat and low cholesterol, and you can use it for, as I said, I mix it up in water, juice, or not juice so much. I started out with juice many years ago, and now I just find it's just easier to throw it into my Cali or Fortune Delight. But if I'm in a pinch and I'm hungry and all I have is the New Plus, I can eat it dry right out of the package. You just have to be careful. You do kind of want to have some liquid nearby because it is dry. So I often do eat it dry out of the package, just because it's a quick way to get some very calm, balanced energy. It comes in 6 flavors: naturally plain, mixed berry, piña banana, apple cinnamon, simply herbs, and original. And now this was a surprise to me. I don't know about the rest of you, but Dr. Ruben Chen, one day when he was telling us about Vitadophilus, told us that this is the top seller in Sunrider. And that surprised me, because to me, Vitadophilus is a wonderful product. It's amazing, but to me, it's kind of an afterthought. Maybe it shouldn't be, I guess. But so Vitadophilus is for your gut health. It helps to balance your microbiome and support your gut health. It's natural, fast-acting, proprietary probiotic, provides live microorganisms to benefit health, promotes optimal digestive health. And you know what? If you have indigestion and keep Vitadophilus handy, Vitadophilus is a wonderful way to get rid of indigestion almost immediately. And it tastes quite delicious. And when our kids were young, I had to hide it from them because they would have just eaten it like all in one sitting, because it tastes quite very, very good. And it comes in 10 packages of the 10 servings per packet. And the package looks like that. And it has an apple pectin coating, which makes it delicious on its own. Or you can, one way I like to use it is in the wintertime, if I'm having oatmeal in the morning, I sprinkle it on instead of brown sugar on top of my oatmeal. That's my sweetness on my oatmeal. And I just wanted to talk very, very briefly about, because we're coming out of the situation we're coming out of, and as I'm talking to people, I can hear a lot of anxiety and worry about as we're moving forward, and people are nervous about getting together with people and so on. And we have some products here that really, really support and build the immune system. And you can get them individually, or you can get them in this immune pack. And to me, that is a simple way. There's the simplification theme again coming. This is a very simple way to keep the immune system strong. So that is I keep these products in my cupboard all the time, and especially now. And another way that people, if they've never been involved with Sunrider or used the Sunrider products, this is a really nice packet to sample something from each of the lines. There's the toothpaste from the personal care line. There's the fruit and veggie rinse from the home care line, and then the Sunbreeze oil plus the food products. So that's a really nice packet to try things out for people who haven't tried them before. So how does a person get started with Sunrider? And now it's quite exciting to me, because I think this is it's going to be fun. It's something that people are familiar with and feel comfortable with, and that is, you could call it a home party. We're calling it virtual or in-person meetups. And Sunrider, this is a new thing for Sunrider. We haven't done it, well, we've been doing it for about a year, I think, maybe a little bit more. But COVID has really pushed us to do these parties. And so this is a way for a new person to get some free and or discounted products. And it's simply by hosting either a virtual or in-person party. Now, I don't know if we're going to be doing in-person ones in the near future, but when we're ready to do that, we can certainly do it. So all you need to do is invite your friends, and right now you could use your social media connections and your email friends. Your sponsor or the representative who's helping you is going to give you assistance with promotional materials that you can send to them, and some tips on when and how to do that. But when it comes right down to the party itself, the sponsor or your rep will do that party for you. It usually either in a short 30-minute Zoom presentation, or if you prefer to do online parties, say in Facebook or whatever, over a couple of days, we can do it that way too. So that is an easy way to get some free and discounted products. For those that are ready to get started and to just want to get some product, you can become a retail customer. There's no cost to do that. Your sponsor can help you get set up on the website. You can order all of the products on the website anytime, 24/7, and they become delivered right to your door. If you're in an urban area, if you're in a rural area, it will have to be delivered to your post office box. You can shop bestsellers like that Top Love product pack that I mentioned, and you will get personalized customer service both from the company as well as your Sunrider rep. So that's retail, and that costs you nothing, and it's easy to get set up online. The second type of way to get involved is the preferred customer, and this is incorrect. I see I made a mistake, because that dollar value is for the IBO. So the preferred customer membership in Canada, I believe, is $25, and I think it's $19.95 in the US. And it gives you, oh, I see what I've done wrong. I copied. This is the IBO information. I'm sorry, folks. So this is if you wanted to be a distributor. I've got the wrong labeling on here. So if maybe what happens if I go to the next. Okay, so I apologize. So I should have checked this out earlier. Preferred customer costs you $25, gives you a 5 or 10% discount. You will get periodic special offers and promotions. I'm just trying, again, help me out if anybody can think of the other things that I should be telling people about preferred customer. Oh, and if you sign up for auto ship, you get you can get the 10% discount. And
And the perk points add up fast. One of my
Okay.
preferred customers was shocked to realize she had $95 in perk points already, and she
Okay.
wasn't even doing anything special. But you
Okay.
get them if they refer someone else. Every order over $200 more, auto ship.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Thank you, Janie. Thank you. I knew there was more, and I should have checked this out before we got on here, and I didn't. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And so, yes, so some great perks for being preferred customer, and for referring people to Sunrider. So that's fabulous. So the IBO, you can get your products for free as well, and you can also create an income stream. And IBOs get 15% off retail prices. You get a starter kit, and you get into the Infinity compensation plan. And Randy, that is kind of what you were talking about through the years that has kept you so happy through the years, I would say, is the marketing plan. And it's become even more, I guess I could use the word lucrative, but since the Infinity plan came into play, what has been your experience?
Well, basically my income went up because they're paying you. One aspect of the plan is that you get paid on every single person in your group, no matter if it's 100 or 200 levels away or that kind of thing. So that it's a fair plan that pays you for the help you're giving to people.
Right. Hence the Infinity plan. It just pays for everybody that's in your group. So, and no breakaways. That is a big thing with a lot of companies, right? There's the breakaway factor and stuff, and they've eliminated that. And so, again, you've got 24/7 access to back office tools, trainings, and Sunrider news. You get your own personal website with your exclusive shopping link that you can refer people to, and they can sponsor directly underneath you. And if you want to, if this sounds like something that is appealing to you, you can get a 90-day free trial on Sunrider. And after that, they will renew your subscription for $19.50 a month. And that covers the use of your website and all of these perks and belonging to the Infinity plan. So, so for new people who may be watching this, if you're ready, I would recommend that you speak to the person who invited you to watch this, and they will be more than happy to help you get started. And I think that about, I would open it up to questions. I'm pretty sure that everybody on here, now I'm not seeing everybody. I'm going to stop my share. I'm not, okay, there we go. So it looks like we're all seasoned Sunriders here. And thank you so much for joining me, you guys. And, but for new people who may be watching this, do connect with the person who invited you, and they will help you get started. And I thank you for watching, and I hope that you found it interesting and helpful. And thank you to all my friends who joined me here tonight. I really appreciate it. And we'll sign off for now. So bye, everybody.